When are we going to learn? When are we ever going to learn? That is the question that I want to delve into today on this segment of Sats on Saturday. What's going on, champions? It's your coach MJ back at you with another episode of Sats and Success. Time for us to learn and grow, so let's go. Listen, I'm not going to be before you here today long. Saturday, it's football. You know what I do on the weekends. But we got to discuss this mentality that has so many of us getting rid of our life changing wealth. We had an interesting week in the Bitcoin and crypto space. Just yesterday, Bitcoin touched down to 1087. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I backed the truck up and I bought as much as I possibly could, just like a lot of whales and people that understand this space did as well. But there's so many people that are trying to wrap their head around this space, trying to get an understanding of this space. We're so young and we're so early. 95% of Bitcoin is in circulation, but yet 5% of the world has adopted this technology. And again, people are trying to wrap their head around this space. They're trying to understand this space. People are scared of this space because of the volatility. And I'm going to tell you what, the volatility is part of the reason why you're seeing these corrections. Other than this, just the normal Bitcoin cycle. I'm listening and watching other YouTubers, like they're panicking. People that have been in the space for a long time, like, I don't know, man, if Bitcoin's gonna do this or if Bitcoin's gonna do that. Guys, I don't care what Bitcoin does. And I'm gonna get to that in a moment. I can care less what it does. Do I hope that it gets to 250? That was my target by years end. Yeah, I hope that I'm right. If I'm not, it just gives me an opportunity to stack more sats at a cheaper price. So I win either way. And that's the mentality that we have to have once you understand what you have or have an opportunity to be a part of. Okay. So what moved the markets this week? Nothing in terms of Bitcoin and crypto. What caused it to go from 118 just last week down to 1087? Nothing. Fear, some panic selling, and whales playing whale games. See, when I first started trading, when I first started investing, I would often the only thing I looked at was the price action. And when you trade, when you invest, and the only thing you look at, the only thing that drives you is price action, you're gonna get wrecked. You're absolutely going to get wrecked. Because when the price is up, you're excited. But when the price is down, like a lot of people, you tend to panic sell. All right, because you're trading, you're investing off of emotion. You never, ever, and this is advice, okay? I'm not a financial advisor, but this is advice. You never, ever, ever trade off of emotion. Never. Never trade, never invest off of emotion. It's got to be based off of pure logic and fundamentals, period. And fundamentally, nothing has changed with Bitcoin. Nothing. It's still decentralized. It's still a global monetary system. It's still backed by the greatest and largest computer infrastructure in the world. Nothing has changed with Bitcoin. Nothing. And yet you have people panic selling, and then you got the whales playing whale games. A whale in this space is someone that's characterized by having 1,000 or more Bitcoin. It could be an individual, it could be a company. But you got whales playing games. And if I had the type of Bitcoin that a lot of these whales have, I would be doing the exact same thing. See, they once they understand, had grasped an understanding of this space and the volatility of Bitcoin. Oh, they absolutely love it. They are making ton, a ton of money. I guarantee you have whales, some whales out there that have made close to $100 million trading Bitcoin this year. Trading. See, Bitcoin, these swings, like Bitcoin when it swung $10,000 within a week. Again, we were just at 118 last week when we dipped back down to 108.7. That's almost $10,000 in a week. You don't have assets that move like that. So let's say, for an example, you're a whale, you have 5,000 Bitcoin. You're like, the 4,000, I'm going to keep, I'm not going to touch. I'm going to play with this $1,000. I'm going to trade it. Okay. So I take 1,000 Bitcoin and I bought it before it ran up to 118 because we were back down, I think, 109 before it ran up to 118. Um, and I sold off at 118. That same well, I guarantee you, this pullback we're experiencing, they took those same 1,000 Bitcoin, bought them back, and they're going to sell them again once it runs back up to 120, 121, 122. All right, and they're going to make $8, $9, $10,000 per coin. It's almost $10 million, and they've been doing that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all year long. Okay, and so that, along with people panic selling, is what caused this little correction. But again, nothing's fundamentally changed with Bitcoin. Let me ask you a question: is AI still here? Yeah, are we still passing through this digital era? Yes, we are. Okay. AI is only going to get better. It's only going to get stronger. It's only going to get bigger. And these AI agents that's going to be transacting with one another, they're not going to be asking, "Do you have change for a $100 bill?" Okay. They're going to be using this blockchain technology to process payments and things of that nature. The second question I have for you: are governments still printing money and debasing their currencies? Absolutely, they are. Okay, that hasn't changed. The moment that changes, the moment the countries figure out how to stop printing money, debasing the currency, that's when I'll tell you, okay, Bitcoin may be in trouble. But if that cannot stop, if governments can't stop printing money, which they can't, Bitcoin is going to 1 million. And I don't know when that is. I don't care when it is. See, when I was young, I used to think like a poor person. Okay, very poor people tend to think day to day. Poor people, they think week to week. That's how I used to think. I used to think like the poor. I used to think like the middle class, month to month. And what I mean by that is, I wanted to make money fast, quick. Okay, I didn't want to wait a week. I didn't want to wait a month. All right, that's why a lot of people spend a lot of money on lottery tickets. They're trying to get rich today. They're trying to get rich next week, this month. But when I start to truly understand how to build wealth, the first thing I started doing was thinking year to year like the rich do. And now I'm thinking not decade to decade, because that's how the wealthy think. But I'm getting there. But I'm my time frame is like a 5 year time frame. And so when I got into this space, I didn't get into this space to hold my crypto assets, my Bitcoin and crypto assets for a year. I got into the space to hold my assets for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Heck, I got into the space in 2018, and I've been holding on to my assets ever since. I take profits off of my stocks and things, but my Bitcoin and crypto, I've held this since 2018, and I've added year after year after year after year. So I guess I guess I am on the journey to having that true wealth mindset. So um, that's all that's going on in the space. And when you understand this asset, the volatility of it, understand what's going on in the macro environment that we live in, there is nothing fundamentally that has changed about Bitcoin. Nothing at all. I hear a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers that have been in this space for a long time, just as long as I've been in this space. Heck, even longer. They're starting to doubt, like, I don't know, man, if Bitcoin is, gonna rip in Q4 as it typically does in the 4 year halving cycle. It's absolutely gonna rip. Is it going to hit 300,000? No, it's not. A lot of people early in the year were projecting Bitcoin to hit 300, 400, 500,000. That's not happening. Okay, my projection, I said 250. We can still get there. It's looking a little tough, but I can see 200,000 by the end of this cycle. But I don't know if this cycle is going to end at the end of the year as it typically does. I do believe that this cycle is going to run into Q1 of 2026. And like I said, I don't care where it ends up. I don't have. I'm not looking to. I will take some profits, but I'm not looking to dump all my assets and trying to get rich quick. I want to build wealth, and that takes time, and that takes holding on to good assets for a period of time, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, a decade. Okay. So that's all I got for you guys here on today. Calm down, okay? Calm down. Don't be swayed and moved by what everyone else is doing. We have to learn to zig when everybody else is zagging. And if you understand that concept, you understand how to zig when everyone else is zagging, you can become wealthy. Okay, there's only a small percentage of us at the top of the pyramid, right? Everybody else is at the bottom. We want to separate ourselves. We want to move on up like the Jeffersons. Okay, to do that, we're gonna have to practice some patience. We're gonna have to calm down. And if you're in this Bitcoin and crypto space, again, I say this all the time. Do your homework. Study, 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 and have a complete and total understanding of what you hold so you don't get shaken out of your generational wealth. All right? Hey, that's all I got for you. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be mobbing some football all weekend long and some good food. I love you. I appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.